please don't get confused. This look is not in this video. I just realized when I edit this video that I actually forgot to film an intro, so let's keep it short. This is the second part of my Chronicles, and I have hair on my shirt like always. And in today's video, if you forgot from the first part or you haven't watched the first part, I will show you 3 looks that will center one shade from the Clionadh Cosmetics line of multi-chromes of their like stained glass shadows. I have 72 of those shades. This is part 2 out of 24, so do the math. 72 divided by 3 is 24 videos. And to choose what shade I will be using before each look, I will spin with you a Wheel of Fortune where I put all 72 shades in. Then I show you a swatch, a description of the website, and then I will pick out a different palette to have some mattes that go with that one shade. And today in this video, I am going to cover the shades Lunette, Royal Pear, and Cephalopod. I hope I said that right. So let's head over to look number 1. Okay, let's spin the wheel for the very first look of this video. It's getting exciting. I love that moment of wheel spinning, and we're getting Lunette. Lunette is in my smaller Clionadh palette, and it's this beautiful shade down here. This is going to be very exciting. On the website, this is described as shifts blue, indigo, violet, pink. Not so much pink I personally see here. I see the indigo, blue, and the violet. Maybe in the swatch. Not so much. The jeweled multi-chromes, they are very intense and very pretty, but they, for my liking, like a bit of sparkle, you know? But this is going to be a very interesting look with this shade. And I found the perfect palettes to pair Lunette with. One is the Viseart Quad. This has just a skin toned color and a dark purple, but that shimmer will come in handy, that lighter shimmer, and maybe even that kind of chromy purple. And the Vega from Lisa Aldrich for mainly the mattes and maybe a bit of an like a different shimmer going on. This is going to be a real cool combo. And please appreciate my nearly empty French gray in here. You have absolutely no clue how exciting this video series is for me because of this. I have to mix and match, I have to play, I have to think about. I love that. So I'm starting with Imperial here in the Tyrian Quad from Viseart. And that one I apply in a very big manner in the transition area up to the brow. Imperial definitely does not a lot color-wise, but I imagine this will come in handy later on with the blend. Next up, I of course go into French Gray from Vega. And it's kind of starting to crackle down, so I maybe have to destroy and repress it. And Vega goes into the crease and a tad bit in the transition area. French Gray, not Vega. It's French Gray from Vega. Next up I go into Smoke and Mirrors from Vega. And that one I apply in the outer V area, but also all throughout the crease. Now I go into Tyrian from Viseart Tyrian. And that one I use in that same spot on the more like outer V and bring it slightly into the crease. I tap back into Imperial from Viseart and I just go over these edges again. And then I rebuild a tiny bit of Tyrian. Glitter glue is down, and now I go into Lunette. And that one I apply here on the most outer part, like the outer third. And then I tap it out towards the center of the lid. I now go into Rain or Rein. It's R-E-I-N-E. I think it's wrong or something. I think it's French. Not sure. Maybe I just embarrassed myself. But I take this shade now and I apply this nearly on the rest of the lid. I'm leaving the tiniest bit in that inner corner bare. And then I tap it here where Lunette starts. And I tap back into Lunette because I want to build that up here in that mixing area a bit more. Because the star of this look is Lunette. I now go into Supernova from Lisa Aldrich Vega, and that one I apply here on the inner corner, and I tap it on top of Rain. For the lower lash line, I'm starting with the Victoria Beckham Beauty Satin Kajal Liner in the shade Surfside, and I apply this on the waterline. Unfortunately, I don't have a like indigo blue liner, but a tealy one does the job too. Because I now tap into Tyrian from Viseart again, and I use this here directly on that border to the waterline and blend it out with that. So I just tint it in and then it kind of makes sense. Next up, I go into Smoke and Mirrors, and I use this to blend this out even further down. And I also go into French Grey, and I blend that down here. I now go into Supernova again, and I use this as my inner corner highlight, and I connect it also with the lid. And this is now the finished first look, featuring the shade Lunette from Clionadh. And on the lips, I'm wearing the Givenchy Rouge Interdit in the shade 10 from my focus box, basically that black PH lipstick. And now let's head over to look number 2. Now let's spin the wheel for look number 2. I'm excited as always, and we get Cephalopod. It's the 4th shade here in my last row, and this is actually a shade from the Deep Sea Creatures palette that I'm pretty sure is not available anymore on the Clionadh website. I just looked it up, and the Deep Sea Treasures is sadly sold out. I wish that they would sell these shades in a single format like their others, because this is really, really pretty. And the website says, unlike the animals, this color shifting eyeshadow won't help you blend in with your surroundings. A large particle glitter shadow with a pinky mauve base and bright green aqua pink shifts. Well, that's a statement. That is quite a lot going on here. And oh, do you see this? Am I able to capture the shift on camera? I truly see this. Oh boy. Just in case it was not visible enough, here is a video I took with phone and flashlight on. And I think this shade will pair fantastic with the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. I have to hold it a bit weird because mine actually broke off here. But I think they will pair nice. So I'm starting with the shade Crash, and I use this as my transition shade. Next up, I go into Off Balance, and I run this through the crease, but not all the way. I leave the inner part of the crease without the shade, because I now tap into Haze, and I blend this here on the inner crease part, and then I blend it up, connecting it with the center. And you know I love my depth, so I go into Vortex now, and that one I apply on the outer V area and in the outer crease. Glitter glue is down, so now let's head into Cephalopod. Cephalopod? Whatever, that C thing. And that one I now apply all over the lid. So I tap back into Vortex, and now I'm just smudging this here across the lower lash line. No waterline liner today. And now I tap into Hot Mess, and I blend that on top and down. For inner corner highlight, I'm going into my favorite shade out of this palette, and that is Supernova. You see, it's also the one that I've hit pan in here. And that one I tap on the inner corner. And I will later on also use this as brow bone highlight. And here we have now the finished look with very classic messy hair. I just am very lazy to comb it after I put it away. Okay, on the lips I'm wearing a Charlotte Tilbury Crazy in Love lip liner, and I then used my focus lipstick, the Givenchy Rouge Interdit in the shade 10. I love the fact that I paired this with Mercury Retrograde from Huda Beauty. First of all, because I haven't used Mercury Retrograde in probably over a year. It used to be a focus palette because when I started out with Instagram, I did like, not technically project pan, but I did like a couple amount of usages challenges, and Mercury Retrograde was in a 10 uses per pan challenge. That's why I basically have hit pan and Supernova, and there are two other shades that are close to show their pan. So this combination, Mercury Retrograde, the tones, the undertones, the way they shine, together with Cephalopod from Clionadh is a win. So let's head over to look number 3. Let's spin the wheel for the last look of this video, and hopefully we're lucky and get a good one. Royal Pear. So Royal Pear is this guy here, and this is a Earth Vibrant Multichrome. And the Clionadh website says a muted lime base with pearly pink peach lime shifts. Yeah, I see the base. I see a tad bit of the shift, but it's there, but not so much. I had a video here with my phone and flash again. There you can really see the shift. It's very intense. But honestly, so to the eye like this, and if I hold it up like that, the shift is also very muted. But I'm excited, and now I have to look for a palette to pair it with. Pear. Sorry. That was faster than I thought. I just looked through the collection and there was that palette with the green packaging that was looking at me, and I thought, that will match. Odin's Eye Flora Story that has a also muted green color story with a bit of a purple thing going on, and I think that might pair. I'm sorry, the puns are very low. I think that will match the vibe. I'm starting with the shade Shroom, and I apply this in the transition area, well, obviously as my transition color. Next up I'm going into Clover, and I apply this throughout the crease. I now go into Sage, and I deepen the outer V, or more so outer lid third, and my outer crease with that. My glitter glue is down, and now I go into Royal Pear and I apply this all over my lid. So on the lower lash line, I'm now starting with the BFF Cream Gel Liner in Charmer from ColourPop, and I line my waterline with it. And I now go into Orchid and press that here into the lash line. Now I go into Azalea and I blend that out with this shade. With the same brush, I go into Magnolia, and that one I apply here on the inner lower lash part. And for Unicorn Highlight, I'm bringing back my glitters today. This is the Slayfire Cosmetics Diamond Skin Glitter Palette. And I'm not sure which one I want to use because they're all very pretty. I go with this one. This is Mermaid Scales in the original formula. This one here down there is Mermaid Scales, but in an ultra fine, but I want to have a bit more of a bigger glitter going on. So I picked some up and now I just dab it on. I like these bigger glitters because they give a like broken glass effect. I really dig that. And I need to use my glitter gels more often. So this is now the finished look. On the lips, I'm wearing the Lisa Eldridge Sculpt and Shade Pencil in the shade 3C. Filled it a tad bit in, and then I topped it off with the Buxom Full On Plumping Lip Cream in Dolly. First of all, I think I gave Royal Pear a nice stage to shine on. And I have to admit though, I'm not really sure if Royal Pear is a shade that once I'm not like forced to use it with a video like this, where I'll be looking at my Clionadh shades and be like, oh, let's use Royal Pear. Maybe that changes at some point. I don't want to say that I don't like the shade. That is definitely not the case. It's just I don't like green so much, you know? Yeah, I know there is also a Royal Plum and I really want to get this. I don't have it yet, but I might snag it this year when they have their Black Friday sale. But I want to take this moment to also say that in my review last year of the Flora Story palette, I did not give it a good review. And I still think that this is one of the weakest palettes that Odin's Eye has. But I like it today a lot. I don't know if my opinion has changed or if it's just the combo with Clionadh. So this one definitely needs to be tested out a bit more because the overall vibe of this look, I'm really digging. Also the combo with the inner corner glitter, I really like it. It kind of is all working, and for my style, this is a very neutral look, and I think if you want to branch into Clionadh shades, but you are very, they're a bit too intense, Royal Pear is a good one to start with because it covers something colorful in a very, very muted, toned down way. So that's it for this video. These were 3 more looks with Clionadh shades. I don't know when the next video will be up, but make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it, and I am already planning this out. Thank you so much. Let me please know in the comments which one was your favorite look, and if you do not have a favorite look or you don't want to tell me, but you want to comment to push the algorithm, comment Royal Pear. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.